Our university has been around since 1947. It's National College of Ireland. We started off as the National College for Industrial Relations, so from our foundation to present day, our courses, our content, our engagement with industry has been very strong. So a lot of our courses have been designed around industry requirements. One of the main reasons why students choose to join there is the fact that our courses are specifically designed for industry requirements, in particular in the computing sector, where we've developed a cloud competency centre, and that's all around from the leading industry companies like Microsoft and Dell and IBM have helped us design our courses. The other big reason is that 96% of our students all achieve employment within 6 months. So for the last 4 years we've been awarded the best college for student employment by the Sunday Times, which is the UK's biggest newspaper. So I suppose that we've got two schools, one school of computing, one school of business. So in the School of Computing, the strongest interest in particular from India is in an MSc in cloud computing and an MSc in data analytics. So data analytics is all about how people gain information and what they do with it and how that informs business strategy. In particular around technology and web, and an MSc in cloud computing is looking at that cloud computing network, and we've got our own business centre and a data centre there and a data hub which allow people to get really real-time information on how the cloud computing world works, and it really sets them up to go into kind of real life companies. In the business school, probably the three strongest courses are an MA in HR management, so human resource management, and a lot of that is to do with our history. So in Ireland, 76% of human resource managers have been trained at some stage by NCI. A lot of interest in an MSc in finance because we're surrounded by some of the world's biggest banks, and we're based in the Irish International Financial Services Centre, and a lot of international banks base themselves in Ireland because of some of the tax breaks, but also because of the talent pool that's there. And then the last one is an MSc in management, which is a good, strong business degree, which with some really interesting electives where people can choose to specialise in some of the things around, say, finance or technology. So you can kind of build a really strong business management course specifically aimed at either finance or technology, or much wider if you want it. So we offer a range of scholarships. I mean, our courses are very competitively priced. So we don't believe in overpricing them and then offering large scholarships. So what we'd say to people is that, you know, look at the net price, look at the course content, and look at what your return on investment is. At the moment we've got limited scholarships at €1,500, and there's some conditions on that about early applying, but what we try and do is encourage people to book their place early, and once they come in early and once they're at the required level for a master's course, postgraduate course, we can usually accommodate them with some sort of scholarship. Great, so I've only been with the college about coming up to 2 months now, and one of the early things I did was look at, you know, where are they now, and again, some of the stories of this, you know, great selection of students working for the likes of Amazon, PwC, a lot of, you know, you could name some of the big tech and financial services and consultancy companies, and their ability, and I think a lot of it is down to our careers office, where we're not just giving students, you know, we'll do your CV, it's about teaching them, you know, how to update their LinkedIn, how to apply for jobs, what companies to target, and really think about, you know, it's not just getting a job, it's about where do you want to be in 5 years' time, and picking the right companies that match your requirements. And I think because we put that effort in, and we take great pride in being the #1 university or college for students getting jobs. So we've got a city centre campus, we've got a small number of accommodation within the campus itself. So our total college is about 5,000 students, of which about half of them are full-time. Our on-site campus holds about 250 to 260 students. But where we're located is really the selling point. We've got a tram stop outside us, which is about a 2-minute ride from Dublin city centre, the busiest shopping area. There's you know, lots of things to do, from cinemas to nightclubs to pubs to great shopping. On the campus itself, we've got a canteen, we've got a great students' union facility, and there's always things going on. There's always activities of either companies coming in to talk to people, guest lecturers coming in, or just activities where students' unions are going out around Dublin and kind of encouraging people to enjoy Dublin itself. Very safe. It's, you know, it's because we're in the city centre. I mean, I suppose Dublin, by its nature, is quite a laid-back city, and its population of only about 1.2 million. We're in the city centre, but it's a residential area, so I suppose surrounding us is some of the biggest companies in the world. So we've got Citibank, KPMG, PwC. Across the river, so 5-minute walk from the campus, is Facebook, Google, LinkedIn. And then within those you'll also have a lot of accommodation and residence for professionals who are working in these companies, students who are coming to NCI. So I think that mix, and some of the shops and the restaurants and some of the amenities around the area, make it a really, really safe environment to live in. So I mean, we have in Dublin there's a very strong cultural mix there. I mean, the government itself has put a lot of effort into ensuring that we've got a really good visa where people can stay on for 12 months. So I think what you found is that over the last 10 years, Dublin hasn't become an Irish city, it's become a multicultural, multinational city. In particular on the campus, we've got a really strong Indian community there. With regards to if somebody did suffer, I suppose, any sort of racial abuse, or indeed any discrimination, or that they weren't settling in, we've got a dedicated, within our international office, we've got a dedicated team that look after both with peer mentors who are existing students, and also we've got an international officer whose job is to integrate students and look after them and provide that sort of motherly, maternal care to their time in the campus. We want to make sure that students have a good time, and wherever they might be struggling, be it in something they might experience outside of the college, or maybe that they're struggling to settle in because they're homesick, that we make sure that we try and accommodate them whatever way we can, be it in, you know, just a bit of advice, or join them up with other students, or sometimes it's, you know, that will help them in a more structured way. Yeah, I mean, we're delighted to work with them, and we love the students that come here because, you know, they've properly been guided, and from our point of view, what really, I suppose, is the difference between a successful student for NCI and not is one that's made a proper decision and has probably received good advice, and has been helped with the application process, and in some of our courses we have an interview, particularly on some of the computing courses, and also the visa application. And if that process is kind of eased through and people are guided through it, it makes the student journey an awful lot better. They're more prepared when they come to the college, and ultimately they're the students that come out at the end of it with, you know, stronger results and ultimately better jobs.